Welcome to this Mantium tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at how to import Zoom recordings, then convert the audio to text, generate summaries, and then embeddings. At the end of this tutorial, you learn how to import Zoom meeting recordings, transcribe the audio to text, summarize the content, combine the transcription, and then the summary. Then you generate embeddings for the combined text, and at the end, you ship the combined text, the embeddings of the combined text to Pinecone for other usage. So to do this, I'll navigate simply to the Mantium platform, and as you can see here, I'm at the data sources section and click on the data sources section to get there, and I'll click on add a data source. Notice we have a couple of data sources that you can connect to and bring data to Mantium, but we're going to be working with the Zoom data connector so that we can bring meeting recordings onto Mantium. Notice on the right side, I've already connected. I have the Zoom access token already. But if you have not connected to Zoom, you can click on this to connect to Zoom. But I've done so I'll click on Zoom access token. So I'll provide a data source name so that I can recognize the data source amongst all the data sources that I have on my account. I'll name it Zoom tutorial and then click save and test. So this is going to create a new data source that's connected to my Zoom account, and it's going to bring the data over from Zoom to Mantium. And this will take a few seconds, as you can see in this job in progress banner showing. Now I have my data and I have a couple of columns. I have the recording, which is the recording of the meeting topic, then some other details, metadata information, as you can see. So you can usually use this to do a lot of analysis of your meetings recordings using Mantium. To add transform, which we're going to talk about soon, want to generate summaries. First, want to transcribe the audio recording, which is this, to text. After transcription, want to summarize the transcription, and then want to combine the transcription and the summary together, generate embeddings, and ship that over to Pinecone. The reason is because you can easily use that to build other applications such as question and answering. Imagine in your company someone didn't join the meeting, they can easily query the embeddings and then they can ask questions about the meeting. And also in Mantium, we have the plugins, and you can use plugins over at the ChatGPT interface to query the data set, the Zoom recordings, and use that. And you can also combine that with data set from Notion, from HubSpot. The applications that you can build from this are endless. So you can use that with Mantium. Back to this tutorial. Create custom data set, and I'll give it a name. I will say Zoom data set, and save. The job is going to start again to update the data set, and I can perform transform on the new data set. Perfect. So I have my data here, and I'll navigate to transform, and in a couple of seconds you have the transform builder, and you can add transforms in sequence, and you can edit, and you can add different configuration, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So the first transform we're going to work with is the transcribe audio transform, and the transcribe audios, it transcribe recorded meetings, which is the Zoom meeting that we want to transcribe, take audio to text, and it does a lot more. You have speeches, you have podcasts, and you can also check our developer documentations for more use cases. If you want to learn how to use this transform, you can read the documentation. We have a couple of examples here for you to understand how the transform works. But let me show you how it works. The source column is the recording column, and that contains the file, the binary audio file that I'm going to take and convert to text. And I want the text column to be the destination column, and that will be the transcription column. So the name of the column is transcription, and the large language model that does the transcription is the OpenAI Whisper model, and that's selected here already. I'll leave the prompt blank, and I'll select my credential ID, which is the OpenAI key. If you don't know how to configure your OpenAI key, check the link in the description below for easy tutorial on how to connect your OpenAI account to Mantium. The next transform I will add to this is the summarize text transform. Summarize text. What I'm doing is I'm adding this transform in sequence so that I can just run everything and everything is done. The source column here will now be the destination column of the previous transform. That will be the transcription. Again, let's check. So destination column is the transcription, that becomes the source column of this new transform. And then the destination column for this is summary. And the large language model that does the summarization is the GPT 3.5 Turbo, so you can easily select that. You can work with other OpenAI model if you want to, but in this tutorial, we're going to stick with this model. And the prompt template is easy. Summarize this document, the feed source column, which is the transcription column, and the large language model is going to summarize that and generate the summary. I'll select my credential again and add a couple more transform. The next transform I want to add is combine columns. I want to combine the transcription column and to the summary column. I'm going to remove this and I'll say that should be combine column. Combine column, and if you take a look right here, I have the column variables right here, the transcription and the summary. I'll show you how to use that now. I'm going to write transcription and give it a colon, and I want the transcription column variable to be here. So what that means is you have this transcription word here, you have colon, and then you have the transcription for each row. And I'll put a pipe delimiter to delimit the transcription from the summary. Post summary, colon and summary. Now this is perfect. So I'm going to have the transcription, and I'll have this and have that. The last transform we're going to add is generate embeddings. Generate embeddings, you search for it, click on that, and then the source column, notice here we have a source column, but to select that. And if you guessed right. The source column here is the destination column from here, which is combined column. Combine column, that will be the source column for this, and then embeddings column will be the new destination column where we're going to have our embeddings that we're going to ship over to Pinecone. Large language model, text ADA 002, leave the max token length as default, then again select your credential ID, and that's done. Let's take a recap. The first is transcribe audio, so it takes the recording and then it generates the transcription destination column using the large language model and then the credential key. Summarize takes the destination column of the previous transform, summarizes the transcription, and then writes the result to the destination column summary. The next transformation takes the destination column to be combined column, and then takes this string template, transcription, and summary to generate the combined column. And the last step is the generate embeddings, which takes the destination column, combined column right here, generates embeddings to embeddings column, and then it uses the large language model and the details as shown. Hit save and run transform. All right, so the job is done. We have the transcription column, as you can see here. So this is my recording of the meeting, and this is the summary of that particular meeting. We have the summary as shown, really detailed. Then I combined it. I changed my combined column name to combined text, and then I have transcription as shown, and then corresponding summary, and we generated the embeddings as shown, which is the numeric representation of the combined column or the combined text variable. And this is what we're going to ship to Pinecone for further machine learning uses or further uses that you may so desire. So to do that, head over to destination, and this is where you're going to add a destination. Notice that I've added a destination already, which is Pinecone. If you haven't done so, just click on this button, add a destination. So if you click on that button, it's going to show you a couple of options. We're going to select Pinecone, or you can use Redis. Redis is a managed vector database that we manage for you, and we have more tutorials on this, but for this tutorial we're going to stick with Pinecone. And if you click on that, you are expected to fill this form with your destination name. Because I filled this form already, I'm just going to explain to you with the example. So destination name could be really any name, Pinecone in this case. Index name is the index name of your over at Pinecone. So I'll leave a link in the description below for you to configure your Pinecone destination, for you to get your API key rather. So when you're getting your API key, you provide an index name. So for this tutorial, I created an index name to be Manatee text, and API key is Pinecone. Dimension, you say 1536 for the ADA model, and similarity, leave it at cosine, and check your environment over at Pinecone, and use your environment. So mine is US West 4 GCP over at Pinecone, and you can leave the column name as content. In our case, it's combined text. Yes, I guess combined text, and then embedding name is embeddings. So once that's done, you hit the save button and that's done. So I'm going to cancel it because I have it here already, and just check your Pinecone account or your Pinecone dashboard. You see your vector already in your Pinecone database. Thank you for watching this tutorial. In this tutorial, we learned how to import meetings recordings, transcribe the audio to text, summarize the content, combine the transcription and the summary all together, generate embeddings for the combined text. And notice that we did all these by chaining the transform together and running them in sequence. So we had 4 transforms. You can also do that. And at the end of the tutorial, we're able to ship the embeddings over to Pinecone for more usage. Thank you for watching. If you need any help, if you run into any issues, feel free to join our Discord, and I'll be available to answer your question and also welcome you to the community. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.